I once was captured by the enemy. He had me thinking I was out of reach. Oh Jesus, mercy shut its mouth. I once was crippled by the weight of shame. Embarrassed, I couldn't even show my face. Oh Jesus, then I heard you speak. Your love, it comes with no conditions. You give us your whole heart. My hope is in the blood of Jesus. I know who I am because of who you are. Calling me beyond my sin. You tell me grace is taking care of it. Oh Jesus, you're my victory. Oh Jesus, you're my victory. Your love, it comes with no condition. You give us your heart. My hope is in the blood of Jesus. I know who I am because of who you are. I know who I am. I serve a king with good intentions. God, you will never turn your back on me. How could a wretch become your treasure? The love of God has changed my destiny. I serve a king with good intentions. God, you will never turn your back on me. How could a wretch become your treasure? The love of God has changed my destiny. Your love, it comes with no conditions. You give us your whole heart. My hope is in the blood of Jesus. I know who I am because of who you are. I know who I am because of who you are. I know who I am. I know who I am. Your love with no conditions. You give us your whole heart. My hope is in the blood of Jesus. I know who I am because of who you are. I know who I am because of who you are. I love that song. I do. I know who I am because of who my Father is. And that's all that matters. As long as the Father knows me, my inside, my heart, as long as He knows me, I don't care what nobody else has to think. I don't care what nobody else think they may know. It doesn't even matter. All that matters is that my Father knows my heart. That is all that matters. And as long as He knows me, I know me. Because He defines who I am. And I am God's masterpiece. And that's what I wrote. So I'm going to share today just something I wrote. It's called I Am God's Masterpiece. Here before you stands a masterpiece, flaws and all. Every bit of her is beautiful, the good, the bad, and the ugly. She stands tall and elegant as she accepts the ugly, not trying to cover it up, but yet uses it to help her walk in confidence as to who the masterpiece I created her to be. My masterpiece wasn't created to be perfect. Behind the beauty, there is growth, there is a past, there is restoration, there is time, there is patience. She was not created overnight, just thrown together, but I took my time with her, to make her image what I love to see. I took time as I made the texture of her hair, as I made her nose just the right size, as I painted the color of her skin. As I painted the color of her skin, I want her to love and be confident in. My masterpiece wasn't just created for outside appearance, but for her beauty within. The heart I created to be warm, loving, genuine, and full of me. My masterpiece was created to be treated with respect and shown passion for, not to be misused or torn apart. I created her to uplift and inspire others, to see the masterpiece they are and the value they hold. My masterpiece is priceless. My masterpiece is righteous. Before you stands my masterpiece. No, maybe in your eyes she didn't start off that way, but to me, she has always been that. Before being formed in her mother's belly, she may have lost her touch along the way and ended up a little faded, but she has been restored and made new. Here before you stands my beautiful masterpiece. So, that was just something I wrote just from the heart. And because, despite how we may feel about ourselves or how others may feel about us, despite that, we are, in God's eyes, we are His masterpiece. We are His masterpiece, ladies. Despite what that last relationship did to you and how he made you feel like you were worthless, or that you weren't good enough, or that you weren't pretty enough, God says you're still His masterpiece. You've always been His masterpiece. No man determines that. This world doesn't determine that. And just because you feel you're not confident in who you are and how you look, God is confident. He wants you to find that. He gives you the confidence that you need. He wants you to find the confidence and just say, like, you're His masterpiece. I am God's masterpiece. Though I have had a past, though I may be in some mess right now, but I'm trying to, grow from it and be on this new journey. From then to now to however far, I will always be His masterpiece. And who cares what anybody else has to say? Who cares what anybody else has to think? Who cares how anybody else feels? They don't determine anything for you. The Father does. And the only thing you should really care about is how you are seen in His eyes. The only thing you should care about is giving Him all the praise, giving Him all the glory, showing Him how grateful and thankful you are to have gotten you out of that mess. And thanking Him for you not looking like what you've been through. You are God's masterpiece. I am His masterpiece. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We are still beautiful masterpieces of God. With the baggage, with the past, with the hurt, with the pain. And even with all that, He still wants us to give it all to Him. And He still sees us the same. Even when we've turned our backs on Him, He's never turned our backs on us. And He still sees us the same. Like the song says, I serve a God with good intentions. God, you've never turned your back on me. He's never turned His back on us. When we've turned our back on Him and thought, oh, we didn't need Him anymore because things were just going great. You just was just so happy. But even through your happiness and even through things going great, you still need Him. You still need Him. He is all we need. And once we realize that, things would be so much better. And yes, I know God is all I need, but every day I still struggle with Jasmine getting in the way and trying to figure things out and do things on my own without the help of God. And it's because we're only human and we're not perfect. We're not perfect. So we're going to mess up and we're going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, He knows our hearts. Like He knows my heart, and He knows that I want to have this, the best relationship and a close bond with Him. You know, God knows that, but He still knows we're human and that we're going to make mistakes and that we're not perfect. But He knows Jasmine's heart. He knows your hearts. You know? He knows your hearts. And even with Him knowing the depths of our hearts, we are still a masterpiece to Him. We are still His masterpiece. We are beautiful in His eyes. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We are still beautiful in God's eyes. And that's all that matters. Your past does not define you. But yes, that past does come trying to creep back in. And that's nothing but the enemy trying to cause distraction in your life. See you going on the straight and narrow, focus on the word and getting deeper into the word. And the deeper we get into the word, the more the past starts to come about, or the more things starts to come about, the more the enemy tries to come about and cause distractions in our lives. But we have to, through that, just still continue to trust God. Like, you've brought me through this before. This is nothing. This is nothing. Like, we have to be to the point where we know this is nothing but the enemy trying to wreak havoc. We just have to, that's where we have to be at. And God will allow us to go through something to get us out of a situation that we think we have to stay in. But He's telling you no, but you're still wanting to do this thing. But He's still showing you, no, daughter, this is not what I want for you, daughter. But yet we're ignoring Him and we're still doing it. So He's going to allow us to keep going through these things, through these heartbreaks, through these heartaches, to get us out of a situation. But sometimes we might not understand that, but when it all comes together at the end, we're going to be just thanking Him so much because, We're just going to be thanking him so much. Like, thank you, Father, that even though I was in my mess and ignoring you, but still wanting to do me, you still were fighting for me. And that's just how much he loves us. Even through our mess of turning our backs on him and ignoring him and doing what we want and thinking what we're doing is the right thing, he's still fighting for us. He still loves us. He's still being consistent. His love is consistent. His love is the realest. His love is the most genuine thing ever. And I am just thankful for God's love and for the peace that surpasses all understanding that he has brought upon my life. I just thank him for being who he is. And I know who I am because of who he is. Yes, like I said, I was lost. I did lose my touch, did fade away. But he still saw me as his masterpiece. So don't think because you slipped and messed up, you got off track, that God doesn't love you, and that, he still loves you. He's still here waiting for you to seek him. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's always been there. Just ask him for forgiveness. He'll forgive you. And we'll keep it on moving. Keep it on moving. I forgive you, daughter. Let's keep on moving. Let's keep on growing. Let's keep on moving forward. And you keep moving forward, slip up again, he's still there. He still hasn't gone anywhere. I forgive you, daughter. Let's keep on moving. Through it all, he still sees us as a masterpiece. Even when family has turned our backs on us, and the person, your significant other, may have turned their backs on you, friends may have turned their backs on you, God's love has always been there. He's never and will never turn his backs on us. His love is so consistent. Even when we don't show him any love, even when we don't spend time with him, he's still here loving us, fighting for us, making a way out of no way for us. And that's just how real and how dope he is. Yes, my God is dope. He is that. He is the realest. I would be so lost if it wasn't for him. I'll probably be dead and gone if it wasn't for him and his love for me and the calling that he has on my name. I would still be I would have still been following after the enemy, living lies, if it wasn't for him. And I just thank him just for being who he is, for the love that he has for me, and for the love he has for my daughter, and the love he has for my family and my friends. And just thank him for loving me on my good days, on my bad days, and my ugly days. And thank him for fighting for me when I wasn't even trying to be saved or even I wasn't even thinking about him. He was still fighting for me and still loving me. And I just thank him. Thank you, Father, for defining who Jasmine is. Thank you for never giving up on me, Father. Just thank you. We are God's masterpiece, ladies. On the good days, the bad days, and the ugly days. I love this part of this song. How could a wretch become your treasure? Because Jasmine was ratchet. Like, for real. Just ratchet. Just a hot mess. Lord have mercy. You change my destiny. We are God's masterpiece. And he loves us even when we aren't seeking after him. Even when we think this world has everything to offer us, which it doesn't. This world has nothing to offer us. God is everything we need. Everything we're searching for, he is. That empty void you're trying to fill by drinking, smoking, or having sex, that empty void you're trying to use all of those things to fill, God is the filling for that void. The emptiness you're feeling inside, he is the filling for that emptiness. It's time we stop seeking these things that mean no good to us, and we seek the Father. He has always been, will always be everything we need. And no, the journey is not going to be peaches and cream. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. That walk with the Father is going to be worth anything we may thought we had for ourselves. It's going to be better than what we thought we may have planned for ourselves. So I encourage you all, stop trying to cover up the bad. Stop trying to hide. Stop trying to hide from it, but acknowledge it, accept it. Accept that's who you once was, but that's not who you are anymore. And that thing no longer has a hold of you anymore. Stop trying to hide from it and accept it and give it to the Father. So you can be free and at peace. Tell that thing it has to loose you. Let it go. Let it go and give it to the Father. He wants you to give it to him. He doesn't want you holding on to any burdens. He doesn't want you holding on to any hurt, any pain, any baggage, any unforgiveness. He does not want us holding on to any of that. He wants us to give it all to him. And I encourage you to do it. The very thing that has such a hold on you, I encourage you to give it to him and let it go. And remember, that thing does not define who you are. The Father defines who you are. And tell yourself and remember that you are his masterpiece. There is none like you. He took his time creating you from the top of your head to the soles of your very feet. And it's time we start loving ourselves, accepting who the Father has created us to be. Stop trying to fix ourselves up to be what this world has put us in this category to be, but accept yourself for who the Father has created you to be. Be the you God sees. Be the you he's created you to be. Stop letting this world define you, the real you. This world has nothing to offer you. Nothing to offer us, ladies. Nothing to offer us. God is everything we need. He's everything we need. He is everything we need. I thank you all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. I pray everyone enjoys the rest of their day and have a blessed rest of the week. And remember that we, you and me, are God's masterpiece. See y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.